And we are back covering the Real Housewives of Potomac, season 8, episode 3. And I am joined by my amazing, my very smart co host, Jatia Hart Taylor. Welcome back
Thank
to.
you. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here. I just want to thank everybody who listens for having me back again. Yay, I'm ready to get into it.
Well, I mean, I feel like in the seasons of Housewives, this episode wasn't a juicy episode, but baby, did we get into some things or some things or some things?
We did.
And yeah, I mean, it's I feel like it definitely delivers. We are back at Ashley's
I think this
shore
was,
house.
a nice setup episode, but
Oh,
yes, we delivered. We're back. We're back where we started, right? So we're back at Ashley's house, the beach getaway in the middle of the city. And we're wrapping up the conversation from last time. We have Robin who's not hiding from any questions, which I love. She's not
she
hiding, she's not running, she's not doing anything. She's
she's
not making her man
present.
stay home.
She's present, she available, and she is answering questions. Now, I just want, can we say the same about Juan? Is he present? Is he answering questions? Or is he washing some clothes? Is he getting his nails
Juan
done?
is examining a dead snake in the street.
Oh,
That's the only thing he is on right now. That's all that matters is the snake in the street. That's it. I mean, it might be him, but he looking at this dead snake in the street. He might be the snake in the street, but he just gonna focus on this one in his driveway.
I thought that B-roll of Robin and Juan was interesting because I'm like, we haven't had B-roll of Robin and Juan being so affectionate in a long time. So I was like, that was just interesting to see. Like, oh, okay.
I thought it was really weird because, like, why a dead snake in the street? Like, that's not like the. I felt like they were pulling really hard to show some footage of them together and having like some. And I was like, a snake in the street? That is not what I want. Like my, loving moment to be. But he was touching her, and we don't usually see that at all. Him touching her at all. So clearly, I don't know. Neither of their love languages touch. So.
I agree. Well, while we are at Robin's house warming, not Robin's, while we are at Ashley's house warming, Uncle Lump has to leave. He says goodbye to the ladies, and Karen initiates a chat with Robin. And I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. And, in true Grand Dame fashion, the Grand Dame is essentially, in my opinion, the chat is saying, you keep my name out your mouth, I'm gonna keep your name out my mouth. You keep this institution out my mouth. Okay, we see each other.
Oh man, you stole my line. I was just about to say that. In the word of Nene Leaks, we see each other. Okay,
In the word
because
of
you
Candy
know how I
Harris,
go.
we see each other.
Right, right. Bringing back a classic housewife line. So basically, if you want me to treat you right, then I treat me right, baby. So there you go. They got an understanding. They both, are not going to bring down the group with their drama, but they will go, toe to toe. So there you go. When these ladies are on equal like that, they know they could ruin each other's lives. So they be trying to bring it back down real quick.
Keep it cute. And as Uncle Lump is leaving, Wendy.
Why you acting like you don't know how to say Uncle Lump? Now
I
you
don't.
got an Uncle Lump. You got an uncle with a weird name. I got my kids got an Uncle Brick. So Uncle Brick, Uncle Lump. Somebody, Uncle Tutu. Somebody with a funny name.
I mean, I feel like I don't know. I got an Uncle Tony. That I mean, but yeah, Uncle Tony isn't our Uncle Lump. Uncle Tony is.
You got a funny name relative. You know that. Boo Boo Bobo.
Let me
Toot
try
Toot.
to. Well, I got a cousin named
Wee Wee.
Stormy.
What?
Wee wee.
Yeah, wee bae, wee bae, wee wee.
Listen, I come from
Do.
I come from a very high vibrational family, so it's
Oh,
like my family
wow.
is
Wow.
very.
Well, maybe my family is just a little slow or something. We can't keep up. Can't keep
So
up.
it is. Wendy is on one this episode, right? Well, essentially at this
I think it's
housewarming.
because she's Osu.
Well,
No.
listen, cause by the way, so we need to get there because is it me or am I low vibrational? But I feel like there is a lot we're getting to see of Wendy. All of a sudden, Wendy is good, Catholic girl. You know, she
Well, you
praises the
know, she's
Lord.
trying to build her storyline, and I thought it was funny. Remember last episode, I told you that old girl was basically trying to build a case for her friend to have beef with Wendy. And
I
I feel
I wonder if that's true because listen, you don't be on the Instagram streets, but I be on the Instagram streets, and NECA was in the comments talking about really at Ashley Darby when one of the Instagram sites was rolling back the scenes of Ashley telling Wendy about the Osu. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, because it was all Ashley saying, I thought this, I thought that she was Osu, and Neka was simply explaining what that was because Ashley brought it up. Number one, the Osu thing, and number two, the whole she was asking if you were a doctor. No, she wasn't. She didn't bring that up. You did. And all she did was ask for clarification very simply. Oh, is she a physician? And then you said no. She said, oh, she's a PhD, and kept it moving. But so I don't know. Maybe this is good. Maybe Ashley is trying to do her friend a solid by giving her a storyline instead of letting her, slink into a storyline like Wendy. And Wendy got to do so much lifting by herself by pulling out her little rosary, when she never has before, and talking about how she a Catholic. I mean, I just think Wendy has to work so hard for her storyline. And if she was just a little bit nicer and not so nasty, she'd have more of a storyline.
well, I can't remember if it's when Wendy is talking about her high vibrational show and that, it's not for everyone. It is for the smart, the articulate, and from
The
her being
elite.
the elite, her, being on MSNBC on Zoom, and that, people feel like they need to see her. And so she essentially calls our girl Mia slow. And that comes back later.
Yeah, that hits home,
That hits
literally.
home here, but here's another reason why, like, I don't necessarily love Wendy. I don't love a smart person, or there are smart people in the world, right? Like, you happen to be one of them. You graduated college when you were 13. There aren't many people that are as smart as you. However, I don't feel like you belittle people. I don't feel like you put people down. And I
Look,
don't like
I learned very
somebody.
early. If you want to be a know-it-all and correct people all the time, you could get punched in your face. That's what you could get. So I mean, nobody wants to, even if you are smarter, nobody wants to be, feel like that. So calm
Right.
it down, girl. And also, you're messing up your demographic. You should, like your show should be for the dumb people because putting out like at least half of the population. Half of the
Listen,
population dumb, half smart, whatever.
how,
But
how long has Jerry Springer been on the air? How long has
right,
Maury been on the
right,
air? It's the
right.
low
Maury,
vibrational shows.
right. So maybe you need to slow down your vibrationals until the frequencies are more spread out, so they're lower. That's a little science show. Anyway, but like it's not working for you because I mean Giselle got high vibrational stuff and her things be popping off. So maybe, yeah, I mean, she got low vibrational stuff and it be popping off and it's popular. And Robin's hats, look, I got me one. So
Okay.
clearly, even the high vibrational people like low vibrational stuff. So, keep it cute, girl, because you ain't got nothing successful. So don't be calling people out. At least
Mm.
me at one time was a part of a very successful
Ah!
business. Okay.
She was a
You
board
know,
member. She was a non-voting board member and the
slash
CFO of
CEO.
promotion.
Right. Okay. So don't knock it, boo-boo. Okay. I'll
Uh,
say that.
And then it's as if, Wendy was watching last season and was like, how can I get these girls back? Oh, great. I want to invite all of the ladies to
So,
cruise.
so what is kind of funny is that her negativity and her putting people off is actually hurting her business because, like, she could have a business, she could have the ladies actually supporting her business, which would, take it to the high vibrational range, but she can't see how she could put that together. And I think that hurts her a little bit. And so, of course, like the a-hole she is, she sits and plops her butt right on the couch in front of the whole group and then invites one of them, an additional one of them to her baby's christenings.
Here's my
No, first
thing.
communion. Yeah,
First
go ahead.
communion. When I have children,
Uh-huh.
ain't no
Can't wait.
I ain't inviting Nancy, John, and Dick to my children's communion. I don't know. I felt like that was a bit of a stretch.
I agree that it was a bit of a stretch as well. But again, this is the one thing Wendy got that she know will hit with all the viewers and also the other housewives is them cute, adorable children that she
Now,
has. So
I will say her kids are very cute. I like, I do love the kids. I do love her boys. I do love her daughter. Like, I will give Wendy that. But again, I just feel like, where is all of this religious Wendy coming from? Like,
right,
it's
look,
kind of like,
didn't you see her pull the rosary out of her bag? That is
the
enough.
first episode when she was in that flower dress, that was like that. And she was like, I stay covered up. It's giving like, it's a bit weird for me as to how religious. And again, I ain't knocking nobody. Listen, praise to who you praise to. Shout out to Allah. Shout out to Jehovah. Shout out to, I'm a spiritual religious person myself, but it's just like all of a sudden, it's as if the candle has grown 3 wicks. And we are
Not the
like,
3 wick.
it's a 3 wick. Okay. It's just a
It's
little weird to
giving
me, but
very convenient. That's what I'll say. But hey, to each his own. I'm not gonna challenge anybody's spirituality, but it seems a bit convenient for her storyline. We did get to see a very cute picture of baby Wendy at her communion. So shout out to baby Wendy with the prayer hands. I love that pose for children, the prayer hands. And then they looking away, and then they got like the halo behind them. Those are the cutest little pictures. So I love baby Wendy with the prayer hands.
So I'm not Catholic, we're non-denominational, but seeing that photo reminded me of Easter Sunday when Barb used to get first of all, we used to usher. Barb used to have us ushering. And so there is funny because like I have like some photos of me and my brothers all in white. And I don't know if it was for Easter Sunday or if we were getting ready to usher. But I do love seeing, little brown children all dressed up and they parents come take this photo. Come take it. So I
what I used to love? I wanted to be an usher, right? Because you get baptized, and then at our church you used to have to choose which ministry you wanted to serve in. And I remember I wanted to be in the usher ministry because I wanted to do the little usher walk.
I know exactly what you're talking about after the thing. And mind you, rest in peace to my brother Bevan. But when we used to do the usher walk after after the offering, my brother, he would be like, and mind you, me and my other brothers would hate it because, the ushers normally have to be like, it's like,
you gotta be very holy with it. You gotta be
not
holy.
Listen, we was non-denominational, so we could be funky with it. But if the one person in the lead is, then we behind him have to be like,
you gotta turn it up. You can't. You gotta match his energy, right?
But we weren't blessed with those genes, so I could only imagine what I look like. So I didn't necessarily want to be in the usher board ministry. What ministry did you think I wanted to be a part of?
The dance. Look, first of all, I clown sidetrack. Okay, I clown the dance ministry because first of all, them kids can't dance. I love that they are trying, and I love that these people are trying, but you cannot dance. And then you making up stuff and all this other kind of stuff. So I'm not gonna lie. I clown the dance ministry for the most time, the mime ministry, the shaking a sheet in time to Jesus ministry. Any of those ministries. I mean, I understand you got to do what you got to do, but I also got to laugh. So I'm just saying, if you see me chuckling in church, it's probably the mime ministry.
I wanted to be a praise dancer so bad, but being as though my mom was a single mother of 4 children, we couldn't make the required time frame to get there. But fast forward to later in life, we move. I'm older. Not my mom joins the mime ministry at her church. Okay.
Send me
Oh,
a
I got
picture.
video. Oh, I
Please
had video.
send
Oh,
Barb. Did she have a white face?
oh, she had the white face. But you know she was cute because she had her curls, and then she had her high waisted pleated skirt with a white shirt. And mind you, the younger like, oh no, yeah, we Barb was a
Please
mime.
send me that. I love Barb, but I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
No, she
Okay,
was killing it though.
I
She was killing
look,
it.
maybe Barb will change my mind, but that's hilarious. I love that people are not afraid to do that. It's not me. But everybody gotta do it. Now I would probably just be on the person like doing the video camera. I'd be like on the tech ministry.
Well, right. So I don't know how we got here, but
We're
I
here.
was on the audio ministry. So
Look,
I used to have to sit behind the controller and I would have to adjust the mics, and so, but yeah, I actually haven't thought about that in such a long time. And I remember the first time I did it, our pastor her name was Dr. Evelyn Graves. And I remember it was literally like my first day doing it. And shout out to Sister Vermel, which was one of my mom's friends. And first of all, I didn't really get asked to do it. Sister Vermel was like, hey, I seen you playing back here before. Like, you want to do this? I was like, oh, I would love to. And then one Sunday, she like, come here. So then I had to sit behind the thing. And so she showed me one
that's
time
funny.
how to
That
do
was
it.
her passing on the blessings and
And
expanding your
uh,
knowledge base, which is
of
what you're supposed to do with
course,
children.
the first time I'm sitting behind that audio board, our minister is like, can somebody turn my volume up? And I was like,
Dead face. You're like, oh, it's
Sister
on me.
Vermel had to come. She had to come and save the day. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, so I mean, I do love the ministries, but again, like you said, it's very convenient that we are just all of a sudden getting to see all of this religious Wendy. Maybe the show
Yes.
should
So
be
that was a fun
Religion
little
with
detour.
Wendy.
Maybe she's tapping back in. Maybe she was on the baptism team. I mean, the first communion team way back when, and she's just like loving it because it's her own kid's turn. So we get this very cute clip of them practicing taking the Holy Communion. So they do a little wafer on the tongue. We got some cross action, all of
Did
that. Very cute.
did you notice their wardrobe before they got into their communion wardrobe while they were practicing?
Wasn't it white suits? I thought the little boys was wearing white suits.
So yeah, but before they were
I
in
don't
the
remember
white
that.
suits, Wendy and Eddie were like, let's practice. And Eddie had on a Happy Eddie shirt.
I did see that. Yes, a Happy Eddie sweatshirt
And
or shirt. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think that's the corniest thing ever. Now, more mind you, I normally love when housewives make products that like, you turn something negative into a positive, but just giving the thirst bucket that Wendy is, I just felt like y'all so corny. But
So this is again her, like, she's obviously trying to make some, a brand or something, but like it's just so forced. It's so forced. So I don't think it, really
yeah,
goes
and
well
it's
for
like
her.
my thing is like, no, you don't wear your Happy Eddie shirt when you're at home with your wife and kids, when you know you are going to be in the presence of Ashley and Deborah, is when you bust the shirt out. Like,
Yes.
I don't know. My friend Sarah, she thought it was cute, and she was like, one of the kids had it on too. I was like, but now this is where I'm a hypocrite. Because if there is a link to the Happy Eddie shirt, I mean, I would kind of buy it.
The point is, you're supposed to rub it in their face and be like,
Right.
you tried to bring me down on this, but guess what? I am back and am badder than ever. So yeah, but it's basically just her trying to get camera time for a Happy Eddie shirt. Like bring it to the arena, boo boo.
Right. So again, I thought it was corny. However, I did think the logo and the white on the black was kind of fresh though. Like, I will have to check Eddie's Instagram to see if it's
Look, me,
available. But
I'm
mind you,
googling
child, no,
Happy Eddie shirt.
child,
Okay, let's see.
knowing their vibrational things, I think the shirt going to be above my vibrational
I was
price
about
because
to
it's
say you
giving.
do need to
They
check your
was
vibrations before you buy the shirt, just in case your vibration is not equal to the vibration of the shirt. It is a cute little logo, though. I will say that.
It was cute. I won't hate on that. Now, mind you, we also get some B-roll of Candace finishing up some of her 6-city tour.
That she paid $100,000 for. Look, and now I can never ever listen to anything about her going on tour without thinking she went on tour $100,000. Like, I don't know. That line is just sticking with me.
So again, I keep my ears and my eyes to the TikToks and to the Instagrams. And Drew Sidora has entered the chat.
Oh,
She has tweeted Candace. Someone sent her the clip, and she tweeted Candace and said, "Now, how did I get in it?" And then Candace
with her
replies like,
ridiculous mouth.
"That's not how the scene actually went." Blah, 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 blah. Girl, I rewatched the scene. I don't know in which other way the scene could have went. I don't know how they could have edited that because, baby, it was giving you ain't want Drew Sidora on your Chicago tour.
That's what it was given. So if that ain't how it went, then they did you dirty. But I think that's how it
Yeah,
went.
I think that's how it went, girl. You sold out Chicago by yourself. You don't need to do anything musically with
Yes.
a Drew.
Right.
Baby, so many people. I was reading this book of affirmations that Wendell has got me, and there is
That's
something in it
sweet.
that basically says like there are so many people that are trying to like uh
Lower your
punch up,
vibrations. Uh-huh.
or like so many people are trying to like collaborate with higher vibrations when actually the vibrations of the people on your level and like maybe even what you would deem lower than you are actually the real connections that you should be making. So again, you know me, I love me some Candace, but like girl, don't do that to Drew. Like y'all,
Drew
you
been in the game. Sorry. Drew been in the game, been on the game, right? You know, you remember she had the guest star on the game. So like don't knock her because she been in this business and you knew. And why would
and
you knock anybody's hustle?
And my thing is, girl, you and shout out to the baddest Trina, because I love Trina. Okay,
Yes,
represent for the
Miami
ladies, all out on your
305,
chat,
baby.
bro. Whoop whoop, pull over that
305.
too fat. Whoop whoop, put her over to that fat. Dumps in the truck. Thighs like what ain't? Hope got more booty in the butt. Cisco made that song when he see me in the thong, the thong, thong, thong. I know you like it when a
Hey.
booty go like a pro. Stick him on the bed, throw him on the floor, turn on the camera, start the freak show. It's the bat, look, bat, say, whoa, I gotta pass up. Juvenile couldn't even set up.
All right, my
Whoa, little
children's
mama
still
fully
home. My
loaded. I got
children's still home.
and I know how
My,
to hold it.
you heard
You
me?
wanna
My
put
children's
a
still in
D's
the
with a
house. Don't be using the curse word.
so I didn't cuss. I did not
Okay.
cuss around the
All right.
children. I
Okay.
said because
They almost gone. They
5 seconds later, Jatia's son will come in here and be like, "Mommy, what?
what is the baddest?
What does
What dumps in the
whoop whoop
trunk?
pull over?" And so again, Candace, you doing these huge collaborations with Trina. And again, I love Trina, but like how successful and how well did that do? Think about if you were to collaborate with Drew and you brought all the housewife
Yes.
people in it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stop. Like,
Well, you know
mm,
what? So this is the thing. Even with her, when she brought, the housewives that she was doing it with, they supported her, even though she got, a trash box mouth. And all that other kind of stuff. Remember, she had Dottie in there. Look, if she had Dottie in more videos, it'd be hit. But again, this is again about collaborating and not being dirty because look, everybody on the show to get the coin. So good for her. I hope she don't ever have to spend $100,000 again. And yeah, so she's back from tour. She's invited to the christening. So
she is. We
yes,
also get to see Giselle with Grace this season, and Grace getting ready to going off to college. And again, I really do feel like first of all, people just hate Giselle. I don't understand why, but
I don't
I
just
really
hate her. I love it in the scenes with her daughter when she opens up about her family life. I will give her that. I like that about her. I don't hate her across the board. I will say that. I don't hate her. Like the only one I pretty much hate across the board is Candace. So, I can even agree with Dr. Wendy sometimes. Candace, I just think, she just has a sort of mean spirit. She got a lot to learn. But that's another episode. I'm sure that whole thing will come back. But
well,
I love the scenes with Giselle and her daughter. She really has great relationships with her daughter. She's talking about going to the parties, and how Grace wants party clothes. And Giselle's like, well, are you going to the parties? And then she conveniently reminds her mom, you went to the parties, right? You went to the parties so much that everybody was coming talking about and referencing how much you partayed at Hampton. So let Grace get her party on. I love it.
what was the name that Karen said that they gave Giselle at Hampton?
I don't know, but she said, "You are a hoe from Hampton." I remember that when they was at the table. I was like, "Wow, a Hampton hoe! Wow, I've heard of those. Never, no, 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 I'm kidding."
Uh,
I don't even believe in the whole thing, the whole thing. Whatever, have your fun, and Grace
listen.
should too. So go get you a little cute dress, Grace girl. Be out there, do what you do.
And yeah, it's exciting just to see again. It's been 8 seasons, so it's almost been like,
You grew up
seven
with
and a
her.
half years. And so it's like really getting to see the children grow up is again some of my favorite parts about these shows is that like, we really get
Absolutely.
to watch these children grow up before in front of our eyes. Karen comes to visit Miss Mia at the apartment,
Yeah, the 2,000 square foot or
and
the
it
square foot
is
downgrade.
very interesting because I guess when Karen gets there, the kids, Mia is getting the kids together, and then Gordon comes back, and Mia is sending Gordon off with the kids, and it's very much giving because Mia says that due to their, lockouts of the accounts, that they had to cut back on the nanny, and it is very much so giving that. Has Gordon got a part-time job with his own kids being the nanny?
The Manny. Yes.
The Manny.
Yeah. There was a Lifetime movie about this. About, a down on luck man becomes the default nanny to his children, and he's a man.
I think I've
You know
seen
what?
that.
I actually don't know if that's a Lifetime movie, but it should be. Oh my God, copyright
Well,
hashtag.
mind you, you could have sold me. But here is the one thing that I will say about regarding the husbands on Potomac. I think Gordon is the most involved father that we see on Potomac, right? Like, I feel like he always with the kids. His interest is always about the kids when he ain't being,
When the
with
tongue ain't out, when his tongue is put back in his mouth, he's always about the kids. No, I like Gordon, even though I could see less of his tongue, but we all got wishes and wants.
It's
But he is on it. When his wife has company over, he's like, "I got it. I'm gonna take the kids out. No hesitation, no groaning, no, I'm trying to pedal back." He jumps up and takes the kids. I like to see that. So yeah, and then
and
Mia
then
brings up
mm, mm,
um Wendy's comment about vibrations and speed.
mm.
So she brings up that the comment really literally hit home because her son has an IEP, which is an individualized education plan for those who are not familiar with the child school speak. But it's basically when your child needs special attention, they document it in an IEP. So she says that her child actually has some language development issues and that kids at school have called her son slow. And so that remark from Wendy really hits home. And this is the thing. Wendy was just giving out a plain old, regular diss, and she didn't know how that was going to hit home, but it did. And so this is why you're supposed to be careful with your words because you never know what people are going through and how that's going to land with them. So yeah, I felt kind of bad because one day this kid is going to see this and, he don't want to see his mama being called slow, but also, that might make him feel, some kind of way that his mom is getting teased about it and in a roundabout way, he's getting teased about it.
I love the kids. A lot of my professional career has been in the welfare and safety of the children. So that is something that I definitely get behind. Now, I do have to be honest. I am not buying what Mia is putting down. Yes, I do believe her son may, have an IEP, and yeah, he might be going through whatever he's going through, and I'm sure Gordon and Mia are getting him the support that he needs. But I am sorry, I am not buying for a second that at that lunch with Wendy calling Mia slow, I'm not buying that Mia was hurt. It is giving very much, what can I use for a storyline to drag Wendy? Is like kind of what I am getting from that. Like, I don't believe that Mia is really bothered by that. And I believe
I think that Wendy's a bitch. How about that? I mean, that's down to it. I mean,
I
she
just
always saying something bogus. So this is just one more bogus thing that she said. So whatever. I think if Mia wants to use it, she can
No,
because she said it.
yeah, I definitely don't feel like it bothered Mia, and I definitely feel like Mia, this is something Mia is like, oh, I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna like, this is something that I'm gonna use for my storyline. However, I do agree with you. I do agree with you regarding Wendy. Like, I don't like somebody that, like, again, you think you're better than somebody because you smart. Like, girl, actually,
Well,
you
you
could go,
should never think you're better than
uh,
anybody because what is better? One person's better, whatever.
right.
Maybe somebody, I mean, get out of here. Everybody got preferences, and that has nothing to do with it.
I
So,
agree. And then we get to Candace, Wendy, and Kiarna,
yeah,
Kiara,
yeah, all the vowels, all the vowels.
Kiarna.
Yeah.
And mind you, now remember when I told you there is a brawl coming? I really think the brawl is potentially with Kiarna and Deborah.
Oh,
So
you
just
know
keep
what? That would be, you know what? That's good foreshadowing because I don't know why Kiarna's here. I don't know why we care. I don't know why we have a whole flashback to
when
Kiarna
she was at
asking a
somebody
question at
that
Wendy's.
clearly, that clearly, Wendy was like, when the cameras is on, ask this question at my
Right,
thing. And
right. Planting questions, girl. We know that trick. Okay.
what I also
So
love is
go ahead.
Candace being like, "Oh, she's amazing. We love. Oh, she's so
Look,
real."
clearly Kiana was a candidate at one time. And again, just like we see Ashley trying to sell NECA,
No, I
we
think NECA
have
is sold. NECA got a peach. She trying to
correct.
sell
So
Deborah.
look,
She trying to
Candace,
sell Deborah.
look, Ashley did what needed to be done. Okay. And so we see Candace trying to sell Kiana. And there's some foreshadowing. So clearly Kiana is at least here to stay for the season and has a part to play. So they're at the bar, they're drinking, they're getting the whole download about all the meetings and things to come at the bar. And also they start talking about I forgot who was at the bar. It was Kiana, Candace,
Wendy.
and Wendy. So they're getting all the download. They're talking about things to come. About she brings up Nick, right?
So she does bring up NECA. She does say that there's this new girl that she doesn't know who is, but she clearly knows her. She talks about Ashley in this moment, about how Ashley said that she brought up these things. And you might not like Candace, but Candace has the read on Ashley down pat because Candace was like, well, listen, girl, I would take what Ashley is saying with a grain of salt because she gets a corona in her and
And she starts swirling the
she
truth.
starts swirling. I also read online that was like anybody that is saying that it was the alcohol in them from one Corona, I don't trust them. Again, talking about Ashley. But and so Candace really has a read on Ashley, and then Wendy is saying that Ashley will be there, and Candace is like, I don't really want anything to do with her. They
Like they
tried
need to make a new song for Ashley. Give me one Corona, and I'm gonna
give me
spread some
one
lies or
Corona. I'm
something
gonna
like
open my legs. Give me two
this. Right.
Coronas. I'm gonna talk to Ebo. Yeah, it's very interesting. And they Wendy again invites Kiarna to
Right.
the
Everybody invited except them chicks she don't like, right?
and so, but again, it's very important to remember that Robin threw a kickball game and she was not speaking to Wendy. So Wendy was not invited. And so, of course, Wendy was like, it's not
No,
the issue
it
with
was
me.
because her kids were not invited that she left her kids out. Remember, it wasn't that she
Well,
wanted.
Robin
Yeah,
said
and then
Auntie Candace could bring the kids. And so
yeah.
this is a very calculated move in Wendy's
But you know what? It
hide.
seemed, I don't know, when Wendy does stuff, it seems very calculated because when Robin ain't invited, she's like, I don't like her, I ain't inviting her. And when Wendy doesn't invite her, she's like, oh, she didn't invite my children, so I'm not going to invite her. Why don't you just be like, I don't want them there? Like, why it got to be a tit for tat? It's always
Right.
tit for tat.
It's well, I mean, that's Dr. Wendy's forte. And so they are, downloading her on all of that. Candace says what she says about Ashley, and like you can't really trust her. And so interesting, very foreshadowing esque. And then so we then
Go to Karen and Ashley shop.
Karen and Ashley.
Yeah.
I don't know what
So,
in the Arden, not Arden B, Ann Taylor.
It was
Uh,
MM LaFleur. So I actually know this shop. They went to MM LaFleur.
not surprised.
They went to MM LaFleur, which is supposed to be workwear, professional wear. So MM LaFleur is definitely not party, christening, first communion wear. So I'll say that. So when I saw them at MM LaFleur, I was like, okay, somebody got a paid endorsement or something like that, trying to make a connection, trying to get something for free. Because MM LaFleur is definitely not a shop that I would see Ashley at, seeing as she really has no job. And I mean, so any of them actually, because I don't know, like it's more like an office job, you know, like what you would wear to the office wear. And I haven't seen any
Maybe
of
that
them
was
in the
Karen trying to say Ashley needs to get
you
some
need to get a job.
professional wear.
Right. And Ashley even admits this. She's talking about like, I don't know, you know, I usually like, and Karen says either the booty or the breast showing. And this is not a booty or the breast shop. So she goes in, she has her new boobs, and she admits that she doesn't know really how to cover her boobs. So also, oh, excuse
Bless
me. Wow.
you.
Wow, all this shadiness is making me sneezy. And she basically admits that she doesn't know how to cover her chest. I get it. And she picks a very middle of the road office wear, probably the spiciest thing they had in MM LaFleur because they had it on a pattern. And it looks nice, but it ain't making the cut. And as you see, she don't wear it to the communion. But more importantly, they discuss, and Ashley actually admits that she might have been a little bit messier due to her corona intake, which we ain't buying because we done seen you get messy. But that she might have been a little unfavorable to NECA in her discussion with Wendy
NECA.
about NECA, about the Osu business, and also about the whole her doctorate thing. So she admits that to Karen, and she also says that she wants to actually clear the air about that. So that's nice that she put it out there that she was being messy and it wasn't the way that she meant it. So that's good.
So
So then
we get to the communion.
we get to the
We
communion.
get
They have
2.3 seconds.
very nice clips. We got the priest, we got the kids with the prayer hands, we got them doing the communion reception hands. It was all very nice. We see the priest in their yellow robes, so we get where the color yellow was coming in. And then we cut to the reception after the communion, and we see Wendy in her white evening gown in the middle of the daytime.
And
so does that look like an Easter dress, sort of dress that you're used to, like a dress you would wear in church? I don't know. Is that what they're wearing in the churches these days?
I mean, maybe there's a lot I don't know about. Maybe in the high vibrational churches, that's what they wear. So I don't know. You know, I came
Oh,
from a
okay.
very
That's
low
what it is.
vibrational church. We shouted, we praise dance. So I don't know. I thought it was very interesting when we get to, because Bravo is shady. Like, Bravo editors are shady. When we get to the brunch, the first person we see is Wendy's sister, right? The second person we then see is Wendy's mom. And Wendy's mom is talking about, I'm giving a prayer because
She birthed them.
she
That
birthed
was funny.
them.
Oh my
Now,
God.
now,
I
two
was like,
things. When she said that, two things. I said, when I saw Wendy's mom, I said, "Is Wendy biracial?" Because baby, Wendy's mom is about 4 shades lighter than
Thank
when we
you. Okay, I
first.
was wondering if anybody was gonna bring this up.
Oh,
I was like,
and you,
excuse me. Whoa, wow. I was like,
and,
she has been hitting the lightning cream like super hard. Nobody said anything about this. I was like, this is crazy
I
that
was
this
like,
woman
she
has
looks,
crazy.
yeah,
She looks
and I
crazy. She
said,
looked at Sammy Sosa. You know how Sammy Sosa just started using those dyes on his skin, and he looks crazy. And I'm like, nobody's gonna say something, but you know, you can't. I guess you can't say nothing to your mama about her lightening her skin, but she ain't my
what about
mama,
the
so I'm gonna say, please
what
stop.
about the
Oh my
blue
gosh, it looks
eyes?
dangerous. It looks dangerous, and also it doesn't like your skin is beautiful the way it was, and it doesn't have to
I
be lighter
mean,
for it to be
yeah.
better.
And I know that in some communities, that the skin lightening cream is like really, really big. And again, it just kind of, for me, it just really reinforces the,
Okay.
European beauty standards. And so it's just for me very interesting, right? And the blue eyes. But when her mom said that, like, I'm giving the prayer because I birthed them, and Wendy kind of just looks like, okay, mom. I had a flashback to the first season when we met Wendy, and I was like, oh my God, do you remember why Eddie's family isn't around?
Yeah, because they fell out with the mom.
And so
Yeah,
it's like,
I can see
ding.
it.
And so I'm like, it's all making sense. Then simultaneously,
Like
as
they ain't
the
never seen the kids, the grandkids, none of that. Yeah.
because of Wendy's mom. And now we do this neck and neck while the brunch is happening. We also have Robin and Nneka meet, like they having a little lunch. And I like this little duo. And at this brunch or at this lunch with Nneka and Robin, um, she reveals, I guess, first of all, Robin is like, let me do my recon because these girls is coming from me and Juan. Let me do my recon. And so the first question Robin asks her is, do you know Wendy? Because it seems like when y'all met, again, how even Wendy walked in, it was like a very like, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And Nneka is like, well, no, it's not the first time we met. And actually, my sister-in-law,
Cousin-in-law.
cousin-in-law is friends with
They're good friends.
Wendy's sister.
Sister. Yes. And then receipts come out. Boom. Flash the picture. Like with cousin-in-law and Wendy's sister and Wendy and Happy Eddie. All three couples just smiling, doing the prom smile and everything. So
And it is being said that, and again, Nneka is saying, like, I'm not saying I know Wendy. I'm saying, like, I know who she is. I've been around her.
I've
Like,
met her. I've met
we
her.
met her. And so Robin is like, well, that's weird. Like, why would she then be like she don't know who you are or make such a stance as to not knowing who you are? And so it just all unfolds and makes sense. Then we then realize that Wendy's sister, which is ironic that when we get to the brunch, the first person we see is Wendy's sister. I'm like, bravo, y'all are not slick. We then
Foreshadowing
learn
shadiness. Yes.
that Wendy's sister is calling the cousin-in-law, basically being like, why is Nneka throwing Wendy's name around and acting like she know her and all this stuff? So it is very clear that Bravo was shopping Nneka to be a potential housewife. And I think that Nneka was basically saying, like, I have connections to Wendy, like, our families know each other, and and it's giving very much, in my opinion, Wendy wants to be the only Nigerian queen on the show and has done everything in her power to stop Nneka from coming on the show. But girl, you must not watch Bravo enough, because when you put up those resistance, you better ask Teresa, because they will put your sister-in-law on the show and not even tell you.
Yes. So
Sorry.
this is the thing. Like, what's funny is that, like, again, Wendy and her demographic, girl, get your demo together, because, like, you want to be the only this, the only smart one. You want to be the only Nigerian. You want to be the only this, the only, like, girl, get your demo together. And really, you need to get your allies. You do know the girl. I mean, maybe y'all ain't besties, but you met her before. You can at least admit to that.
It's giving Nene and Phaedra's first season. I'm from Athens. I'm from Athens too.
No, what was funny, she was like, oh, you were a few years ahead of me.
Yes, you went to school with my oldest brother, and you were a few years ahead of him. I'm 49. Oh, okay. We don't have to go there. We can. I'm 49.
Yeah. So I just think, like, Wendy, stop doing it, girl. Because that's like, why, I don't know why Wendy always has to come to me from a place of negativity. I think, like, she's just so negative. She's getting into Candace territory. I only got a couple of good things to say about Wendy.
Well, listen, it seemed like she get her family to do the dirty work, because
here they come.
It looks like
popping off.
The phone calls did not end at her sister.
No.
Apparently, Wendy mother got on the line and said,
Redbone mama then jumped into it. Okay, newly Redbone, so she's empowered.
And I believe, and it's, for me, the shady thing about it is, right, when you hear Nneka telling this story, you're like, it sounds unbelievable. Like, girl, you're making this up.
No,
Then,
it sounds very believable, but you know what? What is so funny to me is the Godfather-esque lines that Necker repeats. That Wendy's mom said, "Do I pray for you? Do I ever pray against you?" I was like, "Oh, that sounds like somebody like Nigerian mama, ethnic mama." I said, "Do I ever pray against you?" And I was like, "Oh,
and
my
then it
God,
was like, pray against me. And then Bravo pans to Wendy's mom giving the prayer be of the children that she birthed. And then she say, the things that she's saying in this prayer, in my opinion, are like,
sound,
they
sound."
don't real like, why are we saying this negative energy? It seems
Right,
like
talking
it
about no weapon formed shall ever prosper.
against
She
anybody in this room. Now, I believe it's no weapons formed against
formed,
me shall prosper.
yeah,
Like, what the devil meant for bad, God meant for joy. It's normally like, along the lines of what people say. Not nobody, everybody in this room that can hear my voice is protected from I was just like, girl, was giving a little,
prophetess,
so
little prophetess, like, so, I mean, yes, her mom is a lot, like, just when you think you can't top Dottie,
okay.
here we got Wendy's mommy, who is building shrines and threatening to pray against people. So,
And
like, that's serious.
again, it's like you don't want to believe it. Then it's like you physically see Wendy's mother, right? Like she's morphing into a different person in front of our eyes. And it's like, baby. So again, I say this episode might have been a mid episode, but it was a foundational episode because and and it all makes sense, right? As to why now all of a sudden we're getting this God fearing, get my children blessed by the Lord. It's as if Wendy knew this is coming down the pike. Because clearly her sister and her mother had been calling and threatening this girl. So Wendy knew, or she
She
knows it's
needs
coming down the
blessings on
pike.
blessings on blessings. So,
And
yeah,
so
I mean,
she's
it
trying to,
was, I agree. I think that in this episode, the background characters carried more water than our housewives. Between Kiarna and what Deborah and Wendy's sister and Wendy Mama and G, everybody was adding to it. So I think it was a foundational bringing up all, listing out all the issues that would come into play when we do get the big clash, which I'm hoping, is not too far off, to be quite honest.
I just am curious to see how Wendy is going to dodge these mid vibrational waves that are coming her way. But again, Real Housewives of Potomac is shaping up for a great and epic season. And I'm so happy that we are covering it here on the Purple Pants podcast with our PhD,
Yes,
Jatia Hart Taylor.
the high vibrational, very fast, not slow, Jatia PhD. So I am excited to see what will happen next week on the Real Housewives of Potomac. I will definitely be watching because we know it's going somewhere good.
So yes, we will be back next week covering episode 4. We appreciate you so much, Jatia. Where can the people follow you? What you got anything cooking we should know about?
I got some mac and cheese cooking. Thanksgiving is coming up, so I'm on mac and cheese duty. So I just did my Instacart shop and am getting ready to do that. And I hope that everybody has some time to think about what they are thankful for this Thanksgiving. I am thankful to be here with you, Brice. Did you know that? You know I love you.
I love you as well. I just, as you said, what you were making for Thanksgiving, I just happened to think of prior to us pressing the record button, Jatia's son was sitting in that chair and I was asking him some questions. And it just seemed like the vibrational levels were off. But
Why?
I'm gonna let
Because he said that he was eating Costco for Thanksgiving. I
yeah.
mean, that's just the only store he knows. He knows he's eating mommy's mac and cheese. So whatever. Don't be trying to try me. What you cooking?
I actually am cooking the whole, and first of all, you text with Barb, I'm doing the whole Thanksgiving spread this year.
I asked you what you're cooking.
The whole spread.
No, you're ordering the whole
No,
spread.
I'm doing,
So
listen,
you
you
know
know
what?
what?
Don't
It's your vibrational,
whatever. Check his
your
Instagram, people.
Thanksgiving,
Check his Instagram and see what he cooked.
your
Mm.
Thanksgiving vibrations just don't meet my standards. And so,
Whatever, whatever.
on that level, I'm not going to pray against you. I am going to pray for you.
Thank you. And I pray that everybody sees us next week so we can continue our discussion. Love you, Purple Pants Podcast. Love you, Brice.
Love you. Happy Thanksgiving.
It's the Purple Pants, it's the Purple Pants, it's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better get your headphones and listen up quick. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You better listen in public, might make your stomach hurt. Ooh. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to unwind, you better get that box wine. It's the Purple Pants Podcast. You're trying to get your snack, you better hurry right back though. It's the Purple Pants, it's the Purple Pants.